Welcome to a recipe for survival. I was going to make salmon with watercress and pea puree. And then I realized I had milk because I've been making scones for my teapot, for my party. And if I don't use the milk, it's going to go bad because you know I don't use milk often. So I'm going to make creamed corn also. So let's get started with this. I'm going to start by cutting an onion. You know what you do is cut the onion in half. It doesn't even matter because all the food shows now show you how to do it. When I was doing recipes for survival, nobody showed you how to do it. But so you put three horizontal layers in the onion, and then you run across the top. And what I'm going to do is make like a little roux. I'm going to sweat these onions in the little bit of butter and some olive oil that I have, and add a little bit of flour, and then add a little bit of milk, and then I'm going to add the corn, and then I'm going to give it a quick pulse. When you do menu planning, it's really lovely to think about the color, and that's what I think is so beautiful about this meal, is the color is going to be beautiful. But it's also important to think about the textures. This is the pan I'm going to make the, sweat the onions and make the creamed corn in. And then I'm going to, at the same time, I'm going to fill this pot with water to cook the peas and watercress in. Don't need a lot at all. Don't need a lot of water. Just to get the peas cooked. And then what happens is you bring the salted water to a boil, a rolling boil. Put the peas in. When the peas come back to a boil, turn down the heat, and you're going to put the watercress in. And I'll take this little piece of butter, which is about 2 tablespoons, get that melting, and a little bit of olive oil also, and some salt of the earth. So this butter is melting very nicely. I'm going to put the onions in there right now. Okay. The onions are cooking beautifully. And you really want the onions to sweat over medium, a low heat. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of flour in there, into the onions and butter, so that I make a little, like a roux and a cream sauce. And that's looking beautiful, if I do say so myself. It smells lovely too. And I'm starving. I'm just taking like a little handful of flour. I'm going to just try and sift that on. Can you believe I've never made cream corn before? And it's one of my favorite things. Now let me get the corn in here. And now with the watercress, I've washed it very well, and I'm going to cut most of the stems off. The water has come to a boil that I'm going to put the peas into. So I'm going to get the peas in. It's a rolling boil. I have, I guess, about a cup. And once they come back to a rolling boil, I turn off the heat and put in the well-washed watercress. And the peas have come to a rolling boil again. I'm going to get the watercress, drop them right in, and I'll take a quick snap of that too. This is really fast. Cleanup's going to be an absolute breeze. And it's going to be such beautiful colors on the plate. Now strain the watercress and peas and add a tiny little bit of butter. I'm going to puree to a very creamy, almost like a sauce. Actually went straight to blend puree. Now I'm going to blend, liquefy, back to puree. And it worked absolutely perfectly. Let's get on with getting the salmon in. I'm going to actually use the same pan that I did the creamed corn in. Get that hot. A little bit of olive oil and salt of the earth. Take a wedge out of the lemon. And get this salmon right in there and then put a top on it. Let me just quickly get this garlic clove in there. Oopsie daisy. You remember everybody how to do that. Now everybody shows you how to do that. I'm just going to throw this garlic clove in there. And this is how that's looking, in case you can see. And then, once you've gotten the pan hot, I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to let it cook about 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and begin plating this delicious meal. I wish I had somebody to share it with. That's what we should do. If somebody wants to come for dinner, please send me an email at d@recipes, RECIPES, but numeral 4 survival.com. Put this beautiful mash on the plate. Don't even need that much. Just a little. I will then flip this over. That's doing really well, huh? Right, we'll do the corn like this. Wow, this was a beautiful, beautiful meal. And then I'll put the salmon steak on when that's ready, and then the green sauce on top. Just put the steak on and leave the little and then some of our watercress and pea puree on top. So thank you for joining me. I'm starving. I've got so many more dishes in store. We'll have a ton of fun. Thank you. I hope you enjoy this lovely meal. And thank you for joining me for Recipes for Survival.